Hey guys, it's Mathel here once again, and today I'm going to be showing off a skill which won't be new or anything revelation worthy for most people, but a lot of people haven't really seen it, and that is Vaal Power. Oh my god, that's good. Vaal Power Siphon. Power Siphon itself has been pretty much dead ever since Kinetic Blast ever came into existence, and as a result of that, a lot of people haven't seen what Power Siphon even looks like. So while messing around with Power Siphon, I did get a lot of, what's that skill? What's with the pretty blue swirls and all that? Well, Vaal Power Siphon is regular Power Siphon on steroids. It essentially targets every single mob on your screen and throws out a projectile at them, or a Power Siphon, because whenever it kills them, it is still going to do the pretty blue swirl above their head. And when you have a lot of monsters comboed with it, it is absolutely beautiful. This is when I hit Merciless, and this was my very first Dried Lake run. Dried Lake seems to be the absolute just best place for this skill because there's monsters everywhere, and you get to stand in the middle of what is essentially enough monsters to recharge your skill. As you can see, I am just self-perpetuating some Vaal Power Siphon when it goes well. Which isn't always, but quite a lot of the time, this skill is going to absolutely destroy things like Dried Lake. So as a Dried Lake farmer or character, Vaal Power Siphon is pretty top tier as far as I could tell. This is especially prevalent with the addition of Chain. So Chain is a very important addition to your Vaal Power Siphon. And I'll go over exactly what I have attached and what the setup looks like in just a minute. Point of the video is though, look how goddamn pretty that skill is. So it's pretty stock standard Wonder at this stage, just crit elemental Wonder, level 70-ish on a Shadow. As far as the passive tree goes, I think I may have a similar one up already, but it's just crit elemental. You scale elemental damage, you get your 1 nodes, you get plenty of crit, projectile damage, and you move around the right side of the tree to get plenty of life as well. That's what it looks like so far, and it's not terribly complete. That's not really important for the purpose of the video. The hero of the show for the video is Vaal Power Siphon. As you can see, it deals a shitload of damage, 150% of base attack, has culling, can't be evaded, and fires projectiles at everything on your screen. Now it feels to me like it's scaled by projectile speed, so the more of that you have, the further away it'll target things, like potentially off screen. But all you really need to know is get a Vaal Power Siphon, run it on your wanting character, which is currently mostly using Kinetic Blast, and attach it to Chain. So Chain will fire off, whenever you fire off your Vaal Power Siphon, it'll bounce between a couple of monsters quite well and increase the range that this thing's going to really hit a lot more. And then on top of that, attach some weapon elemental damage because I'm mostly elemental, that's the biggest boost I have. And then my helm had a green socket left over, so I went with an added cold. Can use pretty much anything else. Increased crit strikes is not a bad idea for this setup if you're not crit capped, because if you fire off a Vaal Power Siphon and you don't crit, it's a pretty flaccid feeling. So you more or less always want to be critting with this. So if you crit, you're going to wreck face. Now for the actual Wonder itself, I'm using Kinetic Blast, but you can use Barrage as well, as long as you attach Chain to it. And if you attach Chain to it, you probably want to be using some Volley Fire gems to actually make your Barrage an AoE skill. And what are Volley Fire gems? They are these guys. With 50 dex allocated in the radius, Barrage fires an additional 2 projectiles in the first and final attack. Essentially it'll turn your Barrage, which looks like this, into the same thing but with an extra projectile there, extra projectile there. So it pretty much gives it what LMP looks like with most other skills, unless you use it as a clear skill. But your choices are essentially Kinetic Blast or Barrage, as Power Siphon doesn't really hold up itself for wanting builds these days. You can use it, but it's fairly suboptimal. If you want to use some Vaal Power Siphon, get out there, make a wander, get some Kinetic Blast, or get some Barrage going. It'll be a lot of fun. I think it's pretty damn good for Dried Lake. Any sort of open, really big area maps. We're looking at Jungle Valley, we're looking at arid lakes, tropical islands, all that sort of shit. It'll be really, really good. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time.